Since now we have already known how to enter data into your MS Access table by manually typing into it, or by using SQL using the insert into statement. But in this session, we are going to learn about a new way of entering data into your Access tables, and that is by straight away importing it from an Excel sheet. So the first step involved in importing an Excel sheet into your Access database is that we're going to create up a default new database. So let's say sample one, and when I hit the create button, it is going to create up a new database by the name of sample one, and it is obviously going to create up a default table. Now, the first step involved in creating up a new table using Excel data is that I need to go into the Create tab and click on, in the External tab, and go into selecting the Excel button over here. So it is going to ask me that what is the file path of the Excel file which I'm trying to import into MS Access. So I first need to select the file which happens to lie in my C drive in the MS Access folder, and goes by the name of Excel sample. So now we'll click the OK button. The next thing that I need to mark is that do I want to import the source data into a new table, or do I want to append a copy of the records to the table which happens to be already existing in my database. Or the third one, which is that link to a data source by creating up a linked table. So in this session, we are going to concentrate on the first option here. That is, I'm going to import the source data into a new table, and we're going to follow all the steps involved in this process. So hitting the OK button, it is going to present me with a menu which lets me select different options for importing this data into Access. And the first step is that I need to make sure that the first row contains column headings or not. If they do, like in this case, I need to tick mark this option and then move forward. So the next thing that Access provides me is that it lets me edit the properties of each and every variable that I'm trying to import into Access. So in this case, for example, it is asking me that do I want to keep the name of the first variable as ID only, or can I change it to something else too? So let's say I change it to identification. And what is the data type for this variable? Say the default is 11, but I have opportunity of using a whole lot of different data types, and let's say for variety's sake we select integer. And the next one is that do I want duplicates to exist in this column or not? So no, that there should be no duplicates in my in my column. Yes, along with no duplicates, and yes, duplicates. Okay. So we're going to select the default one, and the primary reason for selecting this default option is that so when you import data into MS Access, you don't really know what kind of data is going to eventually come up, because it takes a while to analyze what are the different properties of the data that you are importing. So it is quite safe that we can remove the duplicates in MS Access itself, rather than at the step of importing an Excel file into MS Access. So then I'm going to hit the next button. Just before that, not just for the ID variable, we could have changed the properties of any of the variables listed over here and changed it to our requirement. So let's hit the next button, and it is going to ask me now that do I want access to add up a primary key to my imported table. Now, as we discussed before, a primary key is merely a unique identifier of the rows in your table, which will give each and every row a unique say an entity. So the case for having such kind of a key is that there should be no duplicates in your primary key. And just for simplicity's sake, we are going to ignore these two options right now, and select the no primary key, which tells that I don't want to have any of the primary keys in the Excel table that I want to import. So hitting the next button, it asks me that do I want what is the name of the table that I want to import into my Access environment. So let's go ahead with the name of Excel sample itself. So hitting the finish button, it is going to ask me that, so okay, I have imported the table, but do you want to save the steps? So we are again going to ignore this option for future videos. But right now, when I hit the close button, you're going to see a new table that has popped up in this bar over here. And double clicking on it, you can see that it is the same table that we were trying to access, we were trying to create from an Excel file. And the name of the ID variable has been successfully changed to identification. And if we would have chosen it, we would have also changed the names or the properties of other variables also. So in the next session, we are going to look up into the different advanced options available to us while importing importing some data into your MS Access environment. Hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you for watching.